Genesis 7, the flood. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Come into the ark, you with all your household, for you alone I have seen as righteous, doing what is right before me in this generation. Of every clean animal you shall take with you 7 pair, the male and his female, and of animals that are not clean, 2 each of the male and his female. Also, of the birds of the air, 7 pair, the male and the female, to keep the offspring alive on the surface of the earth. For in 7 days I am going to cause it to rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. And I will destroy, blot out, wipe away every living thing that I have made from the surface of the earth." So Noah did all the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood deluge of water came on the earth, covering all of the land. Then Noah and his sons and his wives and his sons' wives with him entered the ark to escape the flood waters. Of clean animals and animals that are not clean, and birds and fowls and everything that crawls on the ground, they came motivated by God into the ark with Noah, 2 by 2, the male and the female, just as God had commanded Noah. And after the 7 days, God released the rain, and the floodwaters came on the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, on that same day, all the mountains of the great deep subterranean waters burst open, and the window and floodgates of heavens were opened. It rained on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. On the very same day, Noah and Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, entered the ark. They and every animal according to its kind, all the livestock according to its kind, every moving thing that crawls on the earth according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, every winged thing of every sort. 15. So they went into the ark with Noah, 2 by 2, all animals, beings. Let's try that again. 15. So they went into the ark with Noah, 2 by 2, of all living beings, in which there was the breath and spirit of life. Those which entered, male and females, of all flesh creatures, entered the Lord. Let's try that again. Those which entered, male and female, of all flesh creatures, entered as God had commanded Noah, and the Lord closed the door behind him. The flood, the great downpour of rain, was 40 days and 40 nights on the earth, and the waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it floated high above the land. The waters became mighty and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the waters. The waters prevailed so greatly and were so mighty and overwhelming on the earth, so that all the high mountains everywhere under the heavens were covered. All living beings that moved on the earth perished, birds and cattle, domestic animals, wild animals, all things that swarm and crawl on the earth, and all mankind, everything on the dry land, all in whose nostrils. 22. Everything on the dry land, all whose nostrils was the breath and spirit of life. died. Let's try that again. Everything on the dry land, all in whose nostrils was the breath and spirit of life, died. God destroyed, blotted out, wiped away every living thing that was on the surface of the earth, man and human, and the scolding wings. Let's try that again. Oh God, help me, Jesus. We try not to struggle, but I'm gonna have to push through. 22. Everything on the dry land, all in whose nostrils was the breath and spirit of life, died. 23. God destroyed, blotted out, wiped away every living thing that was on the surface of the earth, man and animals, and the crawling things, and the birds of the heaven were destroyed from the land. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained. The waters covered